What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. So the stock market did well again today, guys. S&P 500 up 18 points, up 0.5%. The Dow Jones up 35 points, up 0.1%. And the NASDAQ 100 ended up crushing it, up over 165 points, up 1.4% on the day. And in this video, we're going to be talking more about the stock market, breaking down some technicals, going over the top stocks that I'm watching and looking to buy as we're kicking off October here in 2020. And I also want to go over what I personally did. What stocks am I in? What am I buying? What am I selling? And we're also going to go over some earnings reports, particularly from Pepsi, Bed Bath & Beyond. And we're also going to go over some airlines news, jobless claims numbers, and in general, where my head is at right now as a trader, as an investor in the current stock market. So if you guys find value, hit that like button for me. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're doing a giveaway at 20 or 25,000 subscribers. I haven't decided quite yet, so subscribe to the channel and check out all the free links down below, the Discord, the Facebook, and if you guys want 2 free stocks from Webull valued up to $1,600, those are also linked right down below for you if you guys want some free money. And by the way, that is an affiliate link. I also get 2 free stocks if you guys use it. So let's get into it. Let's just kick off the video, guys. Enough with the yapping. S&P 500 today, again, up 18 points, up 0.5%. And you notice we failed breaking out of a big level of resistance, right? This is a point of resistance we've been talking about here on the channel for quite some time. Pretty much all of September, we've been looking at 33.80, and you guys can see we closed right at 33.80, right under that big level from yesterday. It was also a resistance yesterday. So in the short term, yes, the bulls are in charge these past couple of days, no doubt about it, but some bearish sentiment is maybe not even sentiment. There's some pressure right now from the bears holding the S&P under 33.80. And why is that? Well, it's really because of the stimulus at this point. The markets are waiting. They're patiently waiting. They're kind of anxiously waiting, honestly, not even patiently waiting, anxiously waiting for this stimulus, which is why we consolidated all day today. You know, yeah, the bulls won the day. We had a green day. The bulls are in charge the past couple of days, but it's very clear the past 2 days the markets have been waiting for more stimulus news. And at this point, at the time that I'm filming this video, no deal has come out quite yet. And at this point, we might stay under 33.80 until we get a deal. And tomorrow is going to be a big day for deciding direction. As you guys can see here on the 5-day 5-minute, we've squeezed ourselves into this wedge on the S&P 500, right? You guys can see tomorrow it's going to pick a direction, whether it's above 33.80, which obviously would be bullish, or under this level, this uptrend that we're in the past couple of days. If this breaks to the downside, we might be going back down to test 33.30, which obviously would not be good for the bulls. That would be good for the bears. So just watch out for stimulus. This is what's moving the markets. And again, it's consolidating, it's anxiously waiting, and I think we're going to get stimulus. But the question is, when are we going to get the stimulus? That's the million-dollar question. That at this point, is it going to be before the election? Are they going to drag it out until after the election? And you guys have to realize this stimulus is kind of like a bargaining chip for both sides, right? It's, you know, if the Republicans don't get it through, it's bad on them. If the Democrats don't get it through, it's bad on them. And obviously, we're in an election year, so there's going to be some strings pulled. I'm not sure, again, when it's going to happen, but I think we're going to get some stimulus. And I'd love to know what you guys have to think down below in the comments. And speaking of stimulus, guys, let's talk about some airlines here. This is interesting stuff. American Airlines Group and United Airlines Holdings will go forward for now with a total of more than 32,000 jobs cut Thursday after lawmakers were unable to agree on a broad CV relief package, the airlines told employees. American Airlines CEO Doug Parker told CNN he hoped that the job cuts might be avoided if the airline saw signs that Congress and the Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin would be able to reach a deal. Again, at this point, it did not happen, and they were considering a multi-trillion-dollar stimulus package that would include $25 billion. This is the key here, guys. $25 billion in help for the nation's airlines. So what that means is, in this next package, whenever we get it, there's likely to be a big amount of a big chunk of money here for the airlines. $25 billion to help keep the airlines afloat. I believe it'll help them for the next 6 months. I believe, keep them afloat. So it goes to show, guys. Yeah, tech stocks are crushing it. All the stay-at-home stocks are still doing very well, but a lot of the main businesses here in America, hotels, airlines, cruise ships, restaurants, they're still struggling. The airlines especially, they're still struggling a lot. And I know this is going a bit off course. We'll get back to the markets in a second, but UAL, it's up 1% on this news. I mean, it's still down heavily from $90 pre-crisis, and AAL is up about 2% today, but it's still down an enormous amount from the pre-crisis levels. So one could argue that this stimulus, maybe, if we get it, which I think we will, the question is when, but if we get $25 billion for airlines, this could end up pushing up airline stocks in the short term. I would not be surprised. So watch out for these airline stocks. AAL has a big resistance here at 13 coming up, and UAL has another, also a big resistance at about $39 coming up. So watch out for airlines, the stimulus, UAL, AAL, and everything going on right now in terms of the government. That's big for the stock market in general. And jobless claims. We got jobless claims today. 837,000 Americans filed for new unemployment claims last week. And I'm not sure exactly if that was better or worse from expectations. But at this point, guys, it doesn't really matter. The market is desensitized to this stuff. It pretty much expects we're going to get 800,000 to 1 million people filing for jobless claims every week, and the market doesn't care anymore. It's not a shock, which is why you're not seeing the market really make a move because of the jobless claims numbers, but I'm still going to mention it here in the video just to keep you guys up to date. So overall, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to digest there with airlines, jobless claims, stimulus, and that's really what's going to be moving the market here moving forward. And going over here to the Dow Jones, I mean, you guys can see in the short term, the bulls are slowly taking over the past couple of days. We've broken out of 27,500, which is good. We've broken out of main moving averages here, 50 and the 180 SMA on the hourly chart. Now a big level of resistance coming up for the Dow. Like I mentioned in previous videos, it still stands, is 28,200. That is right around where we were struggling back in the beginning towards the middle of September. I think if we break that point, that is where the Dow could see a lot of upside, right? And the S&P, guys, we didn't mention this. I forgot to mention it. If 3380 breaks, watch out for 3430. And if that breaks, that is where we could see an explosion here in the S&P. And especially if we get that stimulus, oh man, watch out for above. We could be going a lot higher. That's just how the market works at this point, guys. And for the Dow, I mean, again, 29,200 is where we could go if 28,200 breaks. And when it comes down to the NASDAQ 100, we're right around that territory where I said, guys, if we break this, the bulls are going to gain control. And it seems like that's exactly what we're seeing right now. I mean, we broke out of 11,500. We held above it. Again, that's a big resistance from back in the beginning towards the middle of September. That is a very, very good sign. But I'm not jumping on the bullish train quite yet. Again, the stimulus is huge, but I want to see on a technical basis, I want to see the NASDAQ hold 11,500. The NASDAQ 100 hold 11,500 here for a couple of days, maybe tomorrow, the next day, or actually tomorrow's Friday. At least, next week, I want to see what we do here at 11,500. The last thing I want to do is get faked out. Think that, the rally is going to start here, get in, and then all of a sudden the NASDAQ 100 dumps. That's the last thing that I want to happen. But yeah, we're slowly gaining charge. The bulls are slowly gaining charge, no doubt about it. Now we have to see if they maintain this momentum. That is very key. And for the 100th time, the stimulus is really going to be, determining that, at least here in the short term. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments, guys. I would love to know what you guys think about airlines, stimulus, jobless claims, the market in general, what you're doing. Drop a comment. Let me know. And in terms of me, what did I personally do today? Well, I locked in about half of my profit, half of my position here in profit on AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. And if you guys checked out my video yesterday, you know that I got in AMD at $82.25 as a little swing trade, and we had a good day. Today it was up almost 4%, closed at 3.5% in the green. It actually cracked above $85 at one point, and the fact that we broke 83.30, that is huge. That's a big level of resistance here on AMD, stemming back from the 10th of September. And for me, that's a huge bullish signal. But with the volatility where the market is right now, I was up a good amount on my position. I figured, let me lock in some profit. So I locked in half of my position here in profit at $84.50. This was at, I forget, it was about 2 hours before the market closed. It was before this big rally to 85.25. I locked it in, and yeah, you could argue, Stas, you're an idiot. You locked in profits too early, guys, but the truth is, you can't time it perfectly. That's just the truth. If anybody says, I could time the bottom and the top perfectly, run the other way. Run the other direction if somebody tells you that. I'm definitely not going to tell you that because it's not the truth. But yeah, I got out at 84.50. I'm still holding on to half of my position here, and they do have a big event coming out. They're unveiling some new chips here on the 8th of this month. Let's take a look here if we see exactly on the live news tab, anything. But yeah, on the 8th, AMD has a big event coming, so keep an eye on that. And arguably another reason why I locked in a little profit to keep it safe, we're arguably overbought here on AMD. RSI is over 70. We haven't really seen a significant pull down in the past couple of days, so that's a bit worrisome. So I'm being a bit cautious, locked in half, and I'm letting the other half ride here at $82.25. And I'm also still in EA Electronic Arts. Take a look at this one here, guys, up almost 2% on the day. It actually did get over $134 earlier on in the day. For a brief second, it pretty much, actually, did it crack 134? Yeah, it was for a brief second, right? It got to 134.06, and it closed on a little downswing. But overall, EA is bullish to me. It had a very nice day. It's slowly gaining momentum here to the upside, and we have a big resistance coming up at 134 to 135, which I'd love to see a clear-cut break out of that before adding more money to my position. But at this point, I'm holding on to it, and I do believe we will be going high 130s, low 140s. In the short term. I'm not sure exactly when. Again, I can't tell you when things are going to happen. I wish I could. If I could, I'd be a billionaire. Everybody would be a billionaire, right? But I'm thinking at some point in the next couple of weeks, if the markets, this is an if here, if the markets go up as well, I think EA is going to go up as well and arguably outperform the market with all the awesomeness coming out in the video game space here over the next couple of months. So watch out for EA. I'm holding on, and I'm still in Workhorse, guys. And funny thing with Workhorse, I was up super early today at 6 a.m. I usually don't get up at 6 a.m. here on the East Coast. I'm usually up about 7:30, but I got up super early today. Pre-market opens at about 6 p.m. we saw prices, and this one was right around, actually no, it was at 4 a.m. It was right around $22 earlier. Workhorse. It went from $22 at 4 a.m. here on the East Coast, rallied all the way to $27 at about 10 a.m. and sold off all the way to $25. So what a roller coaster ride in Workhorse today. And despite the roller coaster ride, I didn't do anything. I'm just holding on to my position and at about $24. And I drew this interesting chart pattern here on the hourly chart. It's playing out pretty much to perfection. We're in this wedge. We're downtrending at the same time as we're uptrending, and we're going to see some direction. We're going to see some direction picked here in the short term, whether it's out of this resistance or on the bottom side. Let's say it breaks the support. That would not be good for the bulls. Let's say if 24 breaks, we might gap back down to $20. And I think $20 on Workhorse, if we get there, that is an excellent price, in my opinion, to add more shares. And I will probably most likely add more shares if we're able to get down to $20 on this stock. So I'm holding on Workhorse still, guys, and I'm still in Apple AAPL. I'm proudly owning this and holding on to it at this point. I'm actually green on my position, guys. I'm in at about 115. We're at about 117 right now. Apple had a 1% green day, but take a look at what's coming up. We talked about this a couple videos ago yesterday. We pretty much talk about it every day. Big resistance on Apple coming up, $118.50. That's the resistance from back on the 15th of September. If we break that, that is where I think 120s will be coming. $120 per share will be coming for Apple. And overall, guys, you got to be patient with this one. We are slowly breaking the downtrend. I mean, we have been the past couple of days, right? We're breaking the moving averages here, but now we're at another big moving average, the 180 SMA. So we broke one moving average. Now we're about to break the second one here on the 4-hour chart at about 118. So watch for 118. If that breaks, there could be an explosion here in Apple, and we've seen it happen before. So let me know down below in the comments, what do you guys think about what I did? What are you guys doing right now in the stock market? And if you guys are enjoying the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure to do that. And now let's get into some earnings reports from Pepsi and Bed Bath & Beyond. Pepsi, guys, we called this out recently because of earnings, and they did well. They reported some strong earnings. The stock broke out of the big resistance at $139, now trading at $141. They had EPS of $1.66 versus $1.49. So they beat on EPS, and revenue also beat. Revenue came in at $18.09 billion versus $17.23 billion estimated. So a double beat there, and they also saw, well, they're seeing full year if I can pronounce my words here, guys. They're seeing full year organic growth roughly at 4% and full year EPS of $5.50 versus $5.36. So we talk about this a lot. If a company guides up, meaning their guidance is better than what is expected, that is good. The stock usually does well on that news. Investors, traders, they usually like that. So a double beat, guidance is looking good for full year 2020. And the stock's up 1.6%. And at this point, I think we could see a big move in Pepsi. It might take a while since it's not a really volatile, hypey, run all over the place type of stock. So it might take a while. But if you guys have some patience, maybe from 140 to mid 140s, 147, that is possible here with Pepsi. And Bed Bath & Beyond, BBY, 3 Bs and 1 Y here. Don't get it confused with Best Buy. This stock went up 25% today. It was up to about $21, actually more like $20 earlier in the day. So it was up well over, I think it was up well over 35% on the day, which is unbelievable. And they reported a surprise profit, 50 cents of EPS versus the expected loss of 29 cents. And revenue came in at $2.69 billion versus $2.61 billion estimated. And the Q2 same-store sales, they were up 6%. So it seems like we got a surprise quarter here out of Bed Bath & Beyond, and the investors, the traders, are pushing it up. Again, over 25% on the day. And for me, guys, am I looking to buy into this now? Absolutely not. But if it cools off, if we see some sort of sell-off or some volatility tomorrow, we might be able to hop in it as a day trade. Maybe, just maybe. But I'm more looking for a pull down in the next couple of weeks to maybe get in as a swing trade. But that's a whole different topic for a different video there. Overall, very good earnings from BBBY, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Pepsi. And what do you guys think? Do you own any of these stocks? I don't own Bed Bath & Beyond, but I do own Pepsi in some long-term accounts. I love that one for dividend and stability. And yeah, what do you guys think down below? Now, let's get into some other stocks. We have I almost confused it with Domino's Pizza. We have Papa John's Pizza here, guys. PZZA. And speaking of Domino's, they're actually reporting earnings this, I think, on the 8th, on the 8th of this month. Yes, they're reporting earnings on the 8th of this month. So if you guys follow the pizza chains, Domino's 8th of this month, and we have Papa John's, PZZA, they're reporting on the 3rd, I believe, of November, in the beginning of November at some point. And DPZ, I'm not as interested in trading it since it's pretty much at its highs, but when it comes to Papa John's, it's about $20 off of its highs, which as a swing trader, that is music to my ears. I'm interested, especially if Papa John's is able to hold $84. This is going to be a big test, $83 to $84, right? That is where we struggled back in May, and really all the way up to July, that was a big resistance at $83, $84. So it's critical for the bulls to hold it, right? And at this point on the 4-hour chart, yeah, we are holding it $83, $84, but we're seeing a big resistance under this 50 SMA. You guys can clearly see it. So for me to get into this stock, I would love to see a break out of this 50 SMA resistance and honestly a move back into the $85, $86 territory. And anything above $90, guys, 90, I think Papa John's here could see a big move, right? Especially out of this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So I think there's potential here, but I'm being a bit patient. I'm waiting for that confirmation. And again, if $85 breaks, we could see a move up to 90, and anything above 90, we could see a massive move up from there, especially with good earnings. And keep an eye on Domino's earnings. They could actually fluctuate Papa John's stock price. And that doesn't always happen, but sometimes you notice with companies in similar industries, and you see this a lot in electric vehicle companies, you see, okay, for example, if Tesla does well with delivery numbers, earnings, sometimes NIO stock pops up along with it. It kind of moves in correlation there. And we might see that with Domino's and Papa John's. That's if Domino's has a good earnings report, that could shoot up Papa John's heading into their earnings report, which again is on the 3rd or the 5th of November. It's in the beginning of November. So watch out for the correlation there if Domino's does well. And JP Morgan's another one. I know banking stocks, the banks in general, a lot of people are saying, oh, they're terrible investments. You better get out of the banks. Oh, don't touch the banks. And I'm kind of one of those guys. I'm not saying don't touch the banks. I'm not saying don't buy banks because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to tell you guys what to do, but I've been on the side of saying, yeah, banks are a bit risky, with interest rates being low. I'd rather put money elsewhere, maybe in some tech stocks, but just because I'm saying that doesn't mean that I'm not looking at the banks at all, right? And I'm watching JP Morgan. I think JP Morgan is the best ran bank. I love the CEO. I use some of their products, right, with Chase, bunch of other products as well, credit cards and so forth. JP Morgan's great, and they're reporting earnings here on the 13th of this month. And what you guys can see is JPM is at a big sticking point, big resistance, right around $97 to $98. I mean, we struggled there after the big crash back in March, at about, end of March at $97, end of April, all of July we struggled there. We actually held it as a support, $98 all of August, a little bit in September, but recently we just broke 100, got down to about 90. But what you guys notice is we're holding an uptrend here, higher lows, as we're still struggling under a lower high resistance. So we're in some sort of wedge, it seems like, and the second we break 98 on JP Morgan, that could trigger a lot of momentum in the short term. Maybe a move up to 100, maybe back up to 105, especially with good earnings reports. So although the banks are risky, long term, I mean, they should recover if you're looking at a long-term perspective, but short term, I think there's potential. I think there's a potential short-term move here with JP Morgan from, let's say, 97 to maybe the mid 100s. That's kind of where I'm looking at it here. And again, remember, earnings are coming up on the 13th. And we had Tesla today crush it. And mind you guys, Tesla is reporting delivery numbers tomorrow. They're reporting delivery numbers tomorrow, and the stock is rallying because of that. I mean, in anticipation of that. Tesla's up 4.5%, up $20 today. We broke out of this wedge, a bullish break here, and now we're going to that next resistance, which we talked about yesterday, at about 450. And if 450 breaks on Tesla, that is where I think we might make a move to the high 400s. That's exactly what I said yesterday, and that's exactly what I'm going to say today because it still stands, at least in my head, right? So watch out for delivery numbers. I believe they're expected, and this is off the top of my head here, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're expected to do 140,000 deliveries, most of them Model 3s. I think like 110,000 Model 3s. 10,000 Model S. Let me pull up my notes from yesterday and let me take a look here. Tesla. 8,000 Model S, 7,300 Model X, 107,000 Model 3s. That's what's expected. And if they do 170,000 in the following quarter in terms of deliveries, they'll have about 500,000 for the whole year, which is what is expected. That was the target from Tesla. So that would be good. And if they blow out the delivery numbers, expectations out the water, you guys know what Tesla stock's going to do. Heck, it could even go, I know it's crazy, but if they do very well, it could even go to $500. And mind you, they also have earnings here coming up. Let me take a look. I think it's on the 10th, the 11th, the 12th. I don't even know what day it is exactly. All you got to know is it's coming up. That's what you have to know, guys. Tesla stock earnings, they're coming up. Delivery numbers are coming up, so get ready. Okay, here it is. Actually, no, I'm wrong. It's the 21st of this month is when they're reporting earnings. You guys can see it right here on ThinkOrSwim. So watch out for Tesla and Nikola today, guys. Nikola, oh man, have they been in the news lately? Oh man, have they been in the news? They were up 20% today. Actually, more like 17%, but earlier in the day, they were up even more. And this is because Nikola Executive Chairman Steve Gursky and CEO Mark Russell said the company's production timeline and factory plans remain on track, even as controversy over Milton's departure appears to call into question Nikola's $2 billion deal with General Motors that was scheduled to close on Tuesday, guys. So that was 2 days prior to me filming this video. While Russell acknowledged that the negotiations continue, he declined to discuss more details. So they're trying to put this back together, the plans, the factory plans, and so forth. This deal with GM. Let's see if it goes through. And the stock's running on this hope. And that's kind of what I'm looking at it. This is hope for the stock, right? And for me, guys, I'm staying 100 feet away from Nikola. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. I've said that before with all of these accusations, with Trevor Milton stepping down. You guys know Hindenburg. They said this company is pretty much a fraud. And if you guys haven't seen that, go Google it. Go read the article. Go dive into it. It's very well worth it. You know, you guys will get a kick out of it most likely. But Hindenburg was saying they're pretty much a fraud. So for me, that's scary. That's very scary. You know, we saw what happened with Luckin Coffee, and I'm not sure if you guys remember this. I mean, if you guys are newer to the markets, you probably don't remember this. This happened about a couple months ago, but Luckin Coffee is a Chinese coffee company similar to Starbucks, but in China, obviously, and they were smooth sailing at about $50 per share, $30 per share. And then all of a sudden, an accounting scandal came out. They were cooking the books. They were lying about their numbers, and the stock went from $26 to $4. It went off the markets for a little bit. It got delisted off the NASDAQ, I believe it was on. The stock got clobbered, from $30. Now it's trading at, last time it was trading back in June, it was at $1, guys. So be careful with these companies that are getting accused of cooking the books, being a fraud. Not saying that Nikola is going to go down to $1, but I'm just saying it very well could drop a ton more, especially if the GM deal falls out. We get more insight on them actually being a fraud. So be careful with Nikola. Just because it went up 17% today, it's trading at $24. Doesn't mean that it can't go back down to $10, $5, even $1. If you told somebody that owned Luckin Coffee a couple months ago at $50, will this stock be $1? They would be like, no way, no way. Same thing with Nikola, guys. Anything can happen. It could literally go from $25 to $5 very quickly, and especially Nikola, since they're not really making money. At least Luckin Coffee was selling products and doing business and so forth. Nikola is still pretty much an idea that's being worked out at this point. So let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts there? And the last one that I want to go over is Etsy, ticker symbol ETSY. Saw a nice move today, up about 8.3%. We broke out of the 180 SMA here resistance. We broke out of that 50 SMA resistance on the 4-hour chart as well these past couple of days. So the bulls are definitely taking over on Etsy. I'm loving this, guys, and there could still be a lot more to go in the tank. And for me, I'm looking for a pull down. I'd love to see Etsy come back, cool off to the mid 120s, maybe 127, 128, bring that RSI down a bit. If that happens, I would love to get in on a position here, as I do think Etsy has potential in the short term to get back up to the high 130s, heck, maybe even back to the 140s. And we all know Etsy, these online e-commerce businesses, they're doing well right now. So Etsy could have that edge continuously moving forward here, especially over the next couple of months. If the country here in the U.S. has another lockdown, if the lockdowns in some states continue, Etsy is going to be very primed for success, and it already is primed for success, and I think it will continue to see success. So that's it for the video. I'd love to know your thoughts. We talked about a lot today, from airlines, from stimulus, from earnings, from jobless claims. So a lot to digest. If you guys found value, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and drop a comment. Let me know all your thoughts on everything we talked about in today's video, and make sure to join our free Strive Smart Discord chat if you haven't. That's linked down below. Same thing with the Strive Smart Facebook group. And if you guys want 2 free stocks from Webull valued up to $1,600, all you have to do is deposit $100 using my link down below into the account, and you get your 2 free stocks. And mind you, that is an affiliate link. I also get 2 free stocks, and I do appreciate you guys if you use that link. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, be safe out there. Keep crushing the markets. Peace out.